3 times a week, Jeff Hinkle heads to his local airstrip and takes off in his single-engine Cirrus aircraft.
I do okay,
10 years ago, this entrepreneur sold his first IT company for $55 million, and he voted for Donald Trump in 2016.
And I knew that we were going to go into a good time of business.
Less than a year after being sworn into office, Donald Trump lowered the corporate tax rate from 35% to 21%. Hinkle says it was about time.
The lower tax rates that made us competitive with really where the rest of the world had gone to, in the low 20% range, allowed all of that money to stay into the economy versus going into the government.
Donald Trump also introduced tax deductions for businesses. Jeff Hinkle, for example, was able to deduct the purchase of his private plane from his taxes. He believes that's anything but a gift.
It's my money. I made it. I created that money. I went out and that's a product of my work effort. Most of that money will end up going into investments that will provide capital to help other entrepreneurs and companies.
Across the nation, the tax rate cuts have even allowed some companies to stop paying taxes altogether. Take FedEx. In 2017, they owed $1.6 billion in taxes. The following year, that number dropped to zero. The CEO of FedEx is a close friend of Donald Trump. They met soon after the president's inauguration to discuss fiscal reforms. The company had promised to reinvest that money. This New York Times journalist did some research. Yes, there were some investments and some employees got a pay raise, but the overwhelming majority of that money went to stockholders.
Shareholders were very much rewarded by the fruits and the gains of the tax law. The law generated a brief surge of investment right after it was passed, followed by a dip in investment through 2019, and the overall effect was not a big change.
Trump's tax reform has also helped businessmen in some of America's poorer cities, like Gastonia, just outside Charlotte, North Carolina. Jim Marasso is a restaurant owner in this former textile town.
The jobs left to go to China, the jobs left to go to Mexico. The population left because the jobs weren't there.
4 years ago, the government turned parts of North Carolina, including Gastonia, into foreign trade zones in order to revitalize them. That prompted Marasso to invest in the city.
This building is going to be turned into an art gallery. We have a bakery.
It's a $2 million investment, and that money will be tax exonerated for 10 years.
This is allowing me to grow businesses that will provide me with more income as the residents, as the small businesses fill the space.
Marasso says he wouldn't have invested here without this incentive. This former bank will soon become a restaurant.
Does Mr. Trump make me richer? I'll let you know after 10 years, and when I do, I'll put it right inside of there.
America's largest fortunes and biggest companies are those which benefited the most from the tax reform. Jeff Hinkle and Jim Marasso say Donald Trump has their vote this year.